The hangar doors rolled back with a hydraulic groan, metal on metal. Slow enough to stretch the moment thin. Rain ticked against aluminum skin. Somewhere inside the bay, a torque wrench clinked against concrete and stopped. The aircraft sat low on its landing gear, dark paint beaded with water, nose angled slightly down like it was listening. A crew chief wiped his hands on a rag already black with grease. The smell of jet fuel hung heavy, sharp enough to sting the back of the throat. Primaries out. Someone said, flat, no rank attached. Just fact. Boots shifted, a clipboard changed hands. The quiet that followed wasn't respectful. It was evaluative. At the edge of the group, Captain Mara Ilyas adjusted the strap on her helmet and waited. She was listed as backup too. Not because of hours hers were logged clean and deep, but because nobody argued for her. She moved without noise, spoke only when addressed, and spent more time in the systems bay than the ready room. The squadron commander, Lieutenant Colonel Harris, stood with his back to the aircraft, thumb pressed into the edge of his kneeboard. "We're wheels up in 6, he said. "I need someone in that seat." A lieutenant laughed once, short. "Sir, she's a protocol engineer. Not exactly our first choice for a live suppression run." Someone else added, "Last sim she flew was 2 months ago." Mara didn't look up. She checked the seal on her gloves, tugged once, then again. The rain picked up, drumming on the fuselage. Harris studied her for a second longer than required. "Captain, you current?" "Yes, sir." No elaboration, no defense. A pause stretched. The distant whine of an auxiliary power unit spooled higher. Harris exhaled through his nose. "Fine. Strap in." The laughter didn't continue, but it didn't need to. It lingered in posture, in the way a senior NCO stepped aside without meeting her eyes. Inside the cockpit, the canopy sealed with a dull thud. The world narrowed to displays and switches, the low hum of systems coming alive. She ran the checklist from memory, fingers moving with mechanical economy. Fuel flow steady. INS aligned. Radar passive. Over the radio, chatter spiked. Enemy search rays had come online early. Something had shifted. Control, Razor 2-1. Harris's voice cut in, status. Mara keyed once, green, a beat. Then, quieter, Harris again. "You fly standard suppression. Do not improvise." Her jaw set. Copy. They lifted into cloud, the rain vanishing beneath them. The aircraft vibrated lightly. A familiar tremor through the seat frame. The smell of warm electronics replaced fuel. At altitude, the warning tone sounded clean, precise. Enemy radar sweep locked, then dropped, then locked again. Razor to 1 broke formation, aggressive, textbook. The radio filled with clipped calls. Rising tension, overlapping corrections. Missile launch defensive, static flared. Someone swore. Cut short. Mara watched the data cascade across a display. Patterns she recognized not from drills, but from months of late nights, rewriting logic trees no one else was cleared to see. The standard countermeasures deployed. Chaff bloomed uselessly. The lock tightened. Razor 2-1's voice came back strained. "Control, systems aren't, the transmission cut." Silence replaced it. Thick, wrong. Mara's hand hovered over the throttle, then moved not forward but laterally. She killed the active radar feed and rerouted power through a diagnostic channel marked ***, restricted ***. "Captain?" "Report," Harris snapped. She didn't answer immediately. Her breathing slowed. One switch flipped, then another. The aircraft dipped not into a dive but into a shallow, asymmetrical roll. That would have earned a reprimand in peacetime. The warning tone screamed. She overrode it. What she did wasn't evasive. It was conversational. She let the enemy system see her just enough, then fed it a signal shaped like a maintenance echo. An artifact buried deep in their own filtering assumptions. Her aircraft shuddered as power redistributed. Heat spiked. The smell of hot insulation crept in. "Captain!" "Disengage," Harris barked. "That's an illegal." She accepted the consequences before the sentence. Finished. Court-martial language. Career-ending language. Her thumb pressed the final command. The enemy radar didn't explode. It didn't spark. It simply stopped. Every log indicator on her display went blank at once. The warning tone died mid-note. The radio erupted. Control enemy grid is dark. Say again, dark. Entire sector. Mara leveled the aircraft and brought systems back to nominal. Her hands shook once, briefly, then stilled. She keyed the MiG. Razor 22 is clear. They landed under clear skies that hadn't been forecasted. The runway lights reflected off the canopy as it lifted. Hydraulic hiss loud in the sudden quiet. On the tarmac, no one spoke. The ground crew froze mid-motion. A salute snapped up late, almost involuntary. Harris approached, boots slow, deliberate. He stopped short of the ladder. "Captain," he said. She climbed down, helmet tucked under her arm. The smell of cooling metal surrounded them. He held up his kneeboard. The pages fluttered once in the breeze. That maneuver, that logic pathway. Mara stood at ease, eyes forward. Harris looked past her at the aircraft, then back. "That classified combat protocol, you wrote it." "Yes, sir." The space between them seemed to compress. Conversations across the flight line died as the realization spread without being announced. No applause, no congratulations, just a recalibration.